here with the Honorable Frank Pierce of the great state of Texas. Your Honor, thank you for being here so much. I'm so pleasant.
Glad to
I
be
really
here.
am so happy.
Glad to be here.
Wow, the Fatherhood movement.
Yes, sir.
The Father and Families Conference.
It's a great thing.
It's been good so far,
at this point.
What brings you here?
Well, I've been involved in this line of work since 1995. I've been in the legal profession 30 years, and I've been a judge for 11 years. Some of the involvement with young men in the child support system is what triggered my interest in trying to get to the issues that really these young men need to address in terms of what they're doing to either rear families or start families, and what they're doing even if they aren't with the custodial parent to establish that family, and working on ideas and trainings and skills that they need to be successful as individuals and as parents.
Yes. Well, in Texas, I know, you've been there for many years, and we've been down in Texas trying to associate ourselves with you. The young men that are coming before you, I know that you've seen oftentimes, they just don't seem to be ready. They don't seem to be serious, not only about their lives, but more importantly, their family lives. What are some of the suggestions that you might have for them when you see so many that come before you on a daily basis?
Well, you hit on a significant point, and unfortunately, I do see young men, fathers on a regular basis, who basically are not necessarily unwilling, but I think to a degree they do not have the conditioning or training to make good choices. I kind of throw what I call the 3 Ps at them. That you've got to have a plan for your life, which is essentially a map. You've got to, if you don't know what train you're getting on, then you don't know where you're going to arrive.
Right.
You need to be able to perform. In other words, function, work. You've got to learn work ethic to be in a position to not only take care of yourself, but if you have offspring, you have a duty to take care of that offspring.
That's right.
And finally, perseverance. I think that perseverance, which is just a huge word for sticking with something. And a lot of what I see on a regular basis is an unwillingness to take the discipline and patience that's required to accomplish something. Something as simple as graduating from high school, staying on a job on a regular basis, getting a GED. And so we've developed a job training and referral processes over the last 10 or 11 years in the child support system, where we have the work source across the hall from my courtroom. And when I refer a person to that entity, we also have a 30 or 45-day time period in which they're required to come back in and to have complied with that. And we've seen a very, very good increase in the number of individuals who are not only getting jobs, but sustaining themselves on jobs and paying their child support, therefore, in essence, taking care of their offspring.
Beautiful, beautiful. Here at the Family Conference, I know you've been involved with this virtually from day one. Your activity and your participation is so appreciated. What is your goal for the conference and the movement, if you will?
I think one of my goals is to enhance the ability of us to get this message out. That's why programs such as yours are so important, because we're really talking about a quality of life issue. This is not just about the fathers. This is about the families that are disjointed because of the limitations of the groups that we're talking about.
Correct.
And I think the urban male is in a position now where the leg up could easily be a job. It could be the impact of deferring a child support case. It could be the impact of a mentoring project that puts men who have been successful in the lives of young people who may or may not have had any male in their life that has made a difference to them from the standpoint of developing values. And I really think the value system is something that is under attack in this country.
Yes.
Not only in our schools, but in our communities as well. think that if through a collaborative of churches, of schools, of nonprofits, that somehow we have to meet at a junction that puts the precipice of the male, of the young urban male, in a highlight that's positive.
Yes.
And to enhance that through the work that we've been doing over this time period.
Very good. You and I have talked at length about the obstacles that, particularly for a lot of the male groups or organizations such as this, perceive to have, or in real life do have, particularly with the funding of a lot of the programs. And I know earlier today we had a presenter that was talking specifically about how do you tap into the funds that are necessary. What are you and your organizations in Texas now working on to really bridge that gap?
Well, I think the WorkSource group obviously receives money through the Department of Labor, typically. But we're also we're doing outreach to faith-based entities, because we feel like if they take an opportunity to ask the president to enhance initiatives that have to do with community-based and faith-based opportunities, that would be one way to get what I call sustainable funding. Another avenue that has not been discussed, or at least I'm not aware of any discussions taking place, is to look at the HBCUs, historically black colleges across the country, where you have an inset group, a captive audience of young males who are proceeding to be successful, who are moving down these avenues, start enhancing mentoring programs, and start looking at avenues where funding can be channeled into these public and private colleges that then can be earmarked, for lack of a better term, to work with the urban males.
Beautiful. Wonderful strategy. I like that.